Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our City Council meeting. Today is Monday, September 19th, 2022. Before we have our Pledge of Allegiance, I'm going to ask if you please rise so we reflect back on the brave men and women of the United States Armed Forces as they protect our interests around the globe, as well as the courageous men and women of Las Cruces Police Department and Las Cruces Fire Department as they keep our city safe 24/7. And also, before we begin our pledge, Las Cruces lost one of her heroes this weekend, a young man by the name of Abe Romero. So a moment of silence for him as well. Councilor Bencomo, if you join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Okay, as we begin, always with our pets of the week, and Jennifer Martinez from our communications office will introduce them.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. I'm Jennifer Martinez with the City's Communications Office. And first, I'm going to introduce you to our cat, Binks. Binks is a little scared of new situations, but does quite well around other cats, dogs, and kids. If you give her a little bit of time, she'll be the sweetest kitty that you would ever have met. She's had 2 previous homes, but hoping that this next one will be the one. And then we have Okie. Okie is the center's longest canine resident right now at more than a year, and he is having a hard time understanding why. He has a lot of energy, but really just wants to get out and exercise. He does well with other dogs, but does need a cat-free home. He can sit for treats, and he's great in a crate, and volunteers who take him for walks say he is a very gentle, sweet boy. If you'd like to meet either of these two, please visit the ascmv.org website and get their animal numbers and then make an appointment. The number to call is 3820018. There's also an adoption event going on this weekend at the Farmers Market that does take place downtown from 9 a.m. until noon. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. Next, we're going to have Giselle Palomares. I think she's going to, from the Workforce Connections, going to do our Jobs of the Week.
Good afternoon, Mayor and members of the City Council. For this week's the Jobs of the Week, we have City of Las Cruces. They are hiring for a Deputy City Attorney. We also have Stellar Solutions. They are hiring for Defense Opportunities Software Developers. Saputo Cheese is needing to fill 10 positions for cheese packing operators. NMSU is hiring for Facility Maintenance Technician for $15 an hour. And the Electronic Caregiver, they're hiring for a Customer Relations Specialist. For a full list of jobs, please feel free to visit las-cruces.org, employnm.com, or governmentjobs.com/careers/Las Cruces. For the notes of this week, we have an Employer Connection event on Wednesday, September 21st from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., as well as 1:30 to 3 p.m. The event will be held at the New Mexico Workforce Connection Office, which is located at 226 South Alameda Boulevard. And as always, for any information regarding the jobs that you heard of today, you can always contact the Workforce Connection Office at 575-524-6250, or you can go to the 226 South Alameda Boulevard office. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Giselle. Okay, so I'm going to change the agenda around just a little bit. Earlier, you heard me mention that we had a moment of silence for one of Las Cruces' heroes, a young man who played high school football for Oregon Mountain High School, and he lost his battle over the weekend, and so his family is here with us today, and we'd like to have a proclamation that we're going to make, and I'm going to ask if they join us up here, please. The mother and brothers and sister family. I'm going to ask my colleagues to join me as well. So we're going to choose the 22nd because that, of course, is his number, and I'll always remember it because the 22nd is my wife's birthday. So I thought that would be pretty good. So every 22nd will always be here for you. Okay, whereas Abraham Wyatt Romero was proudly born here in the city of Las Cruces on October 31st, 2004. And whereas at a very early age, his love and passion for sports began when he started playing baseball. He loved to be on the field. And whereas he was in the 6th grade. He tried out to be on the school's football team at Mesa Middle School, and he wanted to become a rattler. Abe had never been to a football practice. He had no experience whatsoever in football, but he had a hunger to start something new. And whereas Abe has always been up for the challenge, and football was his new goal to accomplish, he tried out for the team, and a few days later, he was accepted to be a rattler. And whereas Abe gave it all at every game, season after season, until his time came to become an Organ Mountain Knight. And whereas as a freshman, Abe was on the baseball team and also on the football team, his family would only see him for about an hour a day as his life revolved around school and his dream, and that is being in sports. And whereas although he was told constantly that he was too short for sports, as he was only 5'4", he would not let that stop him. His desire to prove everyone wrong only made him stronger on and off the field. And whereas in the 10th grade, Abe made the decision to commit to football 100%. He lived the sport, but most of all, he loved his team. His brothers and the Organ Mountain Knights became his family. And whereas Abe had the biggest heart, his smile would brighten any room he walked into, and his personality would make a friend out of anyone. Now, therefore, we, the mayor and the city council of Las Cruces, New Mexico, do hereby proclaim Thursday, September 22nd, 2022, as Abraham Romero Day, and encourage everyone to treat each other like family, watch out for each other, encourage each other, and act with thought and care for each other. Attested to by Christine Rivera, our city clerk, and signed by myself, Ken Miyagishima. And also, we want to express, there are various fundraisers throughout the city, and I believe there's also a GoFundMe account to help with expenses. And I know various businesses around the city have done their best to help us out as well. And I also want to point out a couple of my colleagues, Drew and Patrick in the back, and Jacob for all their work. And again, we're here for you. Anything you need from us, please let us know. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to ask if Ronnie Medina would come. Is she here? Yeah. If you want to come forward, and Carolyn, you want to introduce the committee as well as recognize our top teams.
Good afternoon, everybody, the mayor and the council. Good afternoon, everyone. I am the committee chair for the mayor's top teens. This group of kids is our 16th group of kids, so we've been going on for quite a few years. These are the kids that have had hardships in life, struggles in life, but have stayed in school, have made their grades, and just one of a kind of students that we want to recognize today. This program started in 2007 with Bill Matisse was the mayor at that time, and then Mayor Miyagishima came on and has been with me since day one. And so it's quite an accomplishment for these kids. Our funds are relied on by the community. We don't get anything from the city, the state, or nothing. We get from the committee that goes out and gets from the Las Cruces community. And so I'd like to thank all of those who contribute to this great foundation. Let's see, I might have committee members here. If you would please stand out and introduce you. Sorry, Rudy Torres is my vice president, and he's the photographer, the one that takes the pictures. Then next to him is Karen Warren. She's a communication for all the kids. She's the one that needs the correct emails, the correct phones to communicate with you kids as to stuff that is going on. And we have a new one who just came on to Trula. She's new. I still have to learn her name, but I know she's a lot of help. Thank you. And that's all the committee that I have now. Anything else? I think I'm done.
So it's Trula Holstein, and I've been with her since day 366. She always says day 1, but then she always talks about Mayor Matisse, so it was a year later, so I was on day 366. Okay.
Been good.
All right, so now we're going to go ahead and I'll turn it over to, we're going to bring each top, because we're always changing this every year. We never seem to stay consistent. So how are we doing it this
A
year?
couple of years we didn't do anything.
Back off a little bit so that they can walk over, and Mayor's going to stand.
So you all have your number, so we'll start with number 1. You just come to the podium, state your name, the high school, and we'll give you a plaque.
Hi, my name is Samantha Almaguer, and I go to Mayfield High School. I'm a senior, and I want to double major in aerospace engineering and mechanical engineering.
Hi, my name is Jenny Castell. I'm a senior at Oregon Mountain High School. I plan on attending law school at the University of Arizona.
Hi, my name is Jocelyn Fiera. I go to Oregon Mountain High School. I'm a senior, and I plan on majoring in criminal justice.
Good afternoon. I'm Tess Fuquay. I'm a senior and I attend Centennial High School. I will be attending the University of Arizona in the fall of 2023 and majoring in pre-med and biology.
My name is Guinevere Griffith. I'm a senior at Arrowhead Park Early College High School. I will be getting my associates in science in May of 2023, and I continue to pursue my education and getting a doctorate in aquatic veterinary.
Good afternoon. My name is Amberly Hendricks. I'm a senior at Centennial High School, and I hope to attend Hawaii Pacific University and major in marine biology.
Hi, my name is Bailey Hines. I am a senior at Oregon Mountain High School, and I plan on majoring in theater and minoring in teaching.
Hi, I'm Liliana Holguin. I'm a senior at Arrowhead Park Early College High School, and I plan on majoring in ICT at NMSU.
Hi, I'm Toronto Hasso. I'm a senior at Desert Springs Christian Academy, and I hope to study hotel and tourism at Cornell University.
Hello, my name is Jimena, and I'm a senior at Centennial High School, and I hope to go to UTEP and study nursing.
Hi, I'm Robert Monsivais, and I'm a senior at Mayfield High School, and I plan to major in animal science.
Hi, my name is Matt Montalvo. I'm a senior at Mayfield High School, and I plan to be majoring in some form of engineering here soon.
Hi, my name is Shreya Mulamala, and I am a senior at Mesilla Valley Christian, and I'm planning on majoring in neuroscience and minoring in business.
Hi, my name is Analia Munoz. I'm a senior at Oregon Mountain High School, and I plan on getting my doctorates in psychology.
Hi, I'm Sophia Phillips. I'm a senior at Centennial High School, and I plan on double majoring in digital film production and journalism.
Good afternoon. I'm Mia Salazar, and I plan on attending NMSU and studying nursing.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Sosa. I'm a senior at Arrowhead Park Early College High School, and I plan to get a master's in computer science.
Hi, my name is Joseph Spicer. I go to Arrowhead Park Early College High School, and I plan on getting my master's in international business at Boston University.
Hi, I'm Eamon Taylor. I go to Mayfield High School, and I plan on studying psychology.
Hi, I'm Benjamin Tiemann. I'm a senior at Mayfield, and I plan on getting my major in architecture.
Hi, my name is Lauren Doe. I'm a senior at Arrowhead Park Early College High School, and I plan on double majoring in pre-law and electrical engineering.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andres Uribe. I am a senior this year at Arrowhead Park Early College High School. In the spring, I'll be graduating with my Associates of Arts, and I have hopes to pursue social work in the future.
Hi, my name is Peter Vasquez, and I go to Mayfield High School. I'm a senior, and I plan on majoring in cybersecurity.
If you're shorter and you want to come forward.
Oh, Matthew.
Okay, it's okay. Thank you.
Wonderful. Congratulations, everyone. We have 2 more proclamations today. Is someone from, I see Ashley Curry, yay! We have a proclamation for Walk to School Week. Do you all want to come down here? All of you are hard to miss today. Thanks, everyone. Go back to school. Hello. Of course, I'm so happy to see you. Come over. Follow Ashley. That way. Hello. Hi. Hello. How are you? Wonderful. Okay, this proclamation is in honor of Walk to School Week. Whereas the health and safety of our children is the highest concern to the citizens of New Mexico, and whereas making bicycle and pedestrian safety improvements a priority can help protect the lives and safety of the city of Las Cruces' youth. And whereas the city of Las Cruces is working to add bike lanes, trails, sidewalks, and improve street crossings to better connect our neighborhoods and provide safer routes to school, and whereas diabetes and other health problems among children are growing concern, and being able to walk and bicycle to school offers an opportunity to build activity into daily routine. And whereas regularly walking and biking to school can be fun and increase students' readiness to learn and improve their state of mental health, and whereas an important role for parents and caregivers is to teach children about pedestrian safety and become aware of the difficulties and dangers that children face on their trip to school each day, and the health and environment risks related to physical inactivity and air pollution. And whereas in September and October, community leaders, parents, and children from around the world will join together for walk to school events to increase awareness about health and environmental benefits of walking and biking to schools. And whereas walking school buses, bike trains, and celebrations of International Walk to School Day have proven to be helpful in encouraging children to safety walk and bicycle to school, and in creating and promoting local safe routes to school programs across the United States and throughout the world. Now, therefore, we, the Mayor and City Council of Las Cruces, New Mexico, do hereby proclaim the week of September 20th to 23rd, 2022 as Walk to School Week in the city of Las Cruces, and encourage all citizens of the city to promote the safety and health of children this month and throughout the year by supporting pedestrian and bicycle improvements, modeling safe pedestrian and bicycle behaviors, and practicing an active lifestyle. Signed by our Mayor, Ken Miyagashima, and our City Clerk, Christine Rivera. Would you like to say a few words?
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, Councilwoman Bencomo. I very much appreciate being here, and to the City Council and the Mayor and members of the public. My name is Ashley Curry. I'm the Safe Routes to School Coordinator for the school district, and I'm very proud to welcome our students from Booker T, Washington. These are students who walk to school every week, and our staff from Booker T, Washington, who make it possible for the kids to have their walking program every week. This is many years in the making, and many, many team members and partners who've made this program possible. So I just want to thank the city for your part in helping us have safe routes, have infrastructure in place, sidewalks, the codes department who helps keep our routes clean, our law enforcement department who helps us be safe on the route, and then again the community that I have within Safe Routes to School who help go educate the students and go out and be together. So International Walk to School Week is just 1 week in the entire year that we bring highlight and spotlight to our program. 18 of our schools walk to school every single week. If school is on, we're on. And 5 of our schools walk to school every single month. So this program goes on all year long. We also have bike trains, after-school bike clubs, learn-to-ride clinics, family bike fiestas. We do lots of things that are encouraging kids to be out and about and being active and being safe while they are doing that. So we invite any members of the public. I know Councilor Bencomo is going to be at MacArthur Elementary on Friday. We have an invitation to everybody to join any of the schools that are walking this week. So without taking any more time, I'd like to invite Alec. I'm so sorry, Alec. Come on up. Alec has prepared some words. There you go, friend.
So, dear Mr. Mayor and City Council, thank you to you and the entire City Council for your hard work and dedication to improving our beautiful city. I'm a student from Booker T. Washington Elementary School. First off, I just want to say, I would not be able to write and present this letter if it weren't for the teachers. They have taught us how to read, write, and lots more. Our teachers persevere to teach us. They dedicate themselves to their work. They work after hours to learn and more to teach themselves to their work. Wait.
You got it.
I ask that you please do something big for Teacher Appreciation Week. Booker T. Washington is a community school, and we are participants of the Safe Walk program. We walk every Friday to Cordon Park to our school. This is a great experience to learn about safety. I appreciate all the work the city council workers do. The city workers do to keep our streets clean and safe. But we have had lots of rain lately, and the weeds don't stop growing, so. I'm asking you to please keep the sidewalks weed-free so we can continue walking safely to school. Thank you for listening.
And then, do we have Xavier? Do you want to show your picture? Come on up. Good job. All right. So you can introduce yourself. You can introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Xavier. I'm a student from Booker T. Washington, and I want to show you guys this picture.
And did you want to give that to the mayor? You can turn around and give that to the mayor if you like. First, so she can take a picture right there. Right there. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. And I think we're going to, there you go. And is there anybody else from the team who would like to say a few words? Thank you so very much for having us, and thank you for your continued support year after year, not just today and on our special occasions, but every single week that we're out there with the kids. So thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you. Okay, sure. You want to hold this? I don't want you to hold this.
So I'm going to photobomb you guys here.
You're a good photobomb.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. Good to see you.
And Ashley, I haven't responded yet because I remember I told you I'm going to be out of town, but I'll be in Friday morning, but I have to do a ribbon cutting, so I'll go to one of these schools. I probably just walk maybe, I don't know, 50 feet, turn around and get in my car and take off if that's okay. Is that okay?
That works. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, good.
I will be at MacArthur on Friday, so hopefully my colleagues will join as well. Okay, we have one more. Is Kristen Drake and Anathea Huckabee here? Come on down, ladies. Hello. How are you? Good. Hi. Athena Huckabee, my apologies. This proclamation is on behalf of Suicide Prevention Month. Whereas in the United States, over 46,000 individuals died by suicide in 2020, and the number of deaths from suicide continues to increase, including in New Mexico, where 520 individuals died by suicide, and where New Mexico ranks fourth in the nation for age-adjusted suicide rates, and whereas in New Mexico, suicide is the second leading cause of death for ages 34 and younger, the fourth leading cause of death for ages 35 to 44, the ninth leading cause of death for ages 55 to 64, the 14th leading cause of death for ages 65 and older, and is the 10th leading cause of death in the state overall, with over 58% of suicide deaths occurring by firearm. And whereas the tragic loss of someone to suicide has an enduring effect on loved ones, family, friends, and the community. Regardless of age, gender, race, ethnicity, religion, or economic status, and the state of New Mexico acknowledges and remembers the precious lives of those lost to suicide and the countless individuals left behind to grieve their loss. And whereas in 2020, a significantly greater proportion of New Mexicans aged 15 to 34 sought medical care in emergency rooms and hospitals for self-harm attempts than all ages of New Mexicans. And whereas suicide attempt survivors, providers, and researchers who study suicide recommend counseling to help find long-term strategies to ease the emotional pain that lead to expression of suicidal ideation and attempts. And whereas mental health is part of overall physical health and emotional well-being, and community-based behavioral health services that respond to individual and family needs are co-effective and beneficial to consumers and the community. And whereas public awareness of the warning signs, risk factors, healthy help-seeking behaviors, services, and resources available for people at increased risk for suicide are essential to decreasing the rate of suicide in our communities across the state, and an important focus of the New Mexico Suicide Prevention Coalition. And whereas it is essential to share the message that is always okay, it is always okay to ask for help, and that individuals struggling with thoughts of suicide or self-harm should be encouraged and assisted in reaching out for help. And whereas in New Mexico, the following are phone numbers to reach out for help: dialing 988 for behavioral or mental health crises, the New Mexico Crisis and Access Hotline at 1-855-662-7474, and the Agora Crisis Line at 505-277-3013, or 855-505-4505. Now, therefore, we, the Mayor and City Council of Las Cruces, New Mexico, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2022 as Suicide Prevention Month throughout the city of Las Cruces, signed by our Mayor, Ken Miyagashima, and our City Clerk, Christine Rivera. Thank you both for all of the work that you do.
Thank you so much. Wow, sorry, I'm really loud. So good afternoon, Mayor and City Council members. It is an honor to present and accept this proclamation from our Mayor proclaiming September of 2022 as Suicide Prevention Month. It warms my heart to see our city leaders and state leaders support mental health as strongly as they do. The Las Cruces Suicide Prevention Task Force, created by our very own Mayor Pro Tem Cassandra Gandara in 2017, has hosted our local recovery event since its conception and continues this year. As a task force, we understand that recovery represents a journey towards strong mental health as well as a journey towards sobriety. With the rise in substance use in our region, this year's recovery event focuses on addiction. We are staying true to this year's theme of recovery is for everyone, every person, every family, every community.
Thanks, everyone. This year's event, held on September 30th, is a two-part event. From 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., the event will be held here in Council Chambers. We have speakers throughout the day discussing recovery across several populations, to include veterans, individuals struggling with severe mental illness, our senior adult population, and our LGBTQ+ community. Preceding this day's summit, we will continue our event at the Plaza de las Cruces for our Recovery Night celebration. That's from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Please visit our website at lcsuicideprevention.com for more information. We'd also like this opportunity to thank our sponsors of Recovery Night, the City of Las Cruces City Council members, Western Sky Community Care, La Clínica de Familia, in-kind sponsorship from Peak Behavioral Health, Families and Youth Innovation Plus, and special thanks to the Behavioral Health Services Division Recovery Communities of New Mexico for the provision of grant monies which made this event possible.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes.
Wearing my big girl shoes today. Thanks so much. Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Bencomo, for those proclamations. Now I'm going to go to the conflict of interest statement. This is where I'll ask if any member of the City Council, a city manager, or any member of the city staff has any known conflict of interest on any item on the agenda.
None by Flores.
None, Graham.
None, Gandara.
None.
None. Aveda.
Okay, so seeing none, now we're going to go to public participation. This is where members of the public can speak to council for a total of 7 minutes. 3 minutes for public participation, 4 minutes for items on the agenda. If you have something, you want to talk about something that's on the agenda, if you could wait until that item is heard, we would prefer that. If you can't and you need to leave, please let us know, and then, because the council won't be able to respond to you if it's not on the agenda yet, even though it's printed. Okay, so I usually start on my left, and I usually start on the first row. Of course, there's no one there. First, second, third, fourth row. So we're going to the fifth row, and I usually start on my closest here, but Lorenzo, I think you're just ready to go, so let's go. Hopefully you have money you want to donate to the city. Is that?
Mayor, City Council, my name is Lorenzo Alba. I'm the Executive Director of Casa de Peregrinos. I've brought a couple of my staff members with me, our volunteer coordinator, Teresa Sanchez, as well as our development coordinator, Bianca Menchaca. Usually what we have you guys do during Hunger Action Month is do a proclamation for us. We don't want to do that. We want to recognize you as one of our partners in this fight against hunger this month. We want to show you a token of our appreciation for your continued support, for the partnership, and more than anything else, for continuing this fight with us. I've been doing this for 11 years, and you've been with me every step of the way. Different council people have been here, different city managers, different leadership in different departments. I'd be remiss by not mentioning Natalie Green and her staff for all the help that they give us, but all of you that show up to everything that we do and to help us in this incredible fight that we're in, right? We seem to get better at it every year, and I think with this new building, we're even going to get better at it. We've got some other stuff going on within the community that'll also help us. But we'd like to present something to you that you guys can put somewhere here and show people that we do this together. It's not simply about Casa Peregrinos, it never has been. It's always been about this community for us. We realize that the only way to do anything is to collaborate, to work together. And it's a big situation that we're in right now, and you guys are really beginning to push the envelope, and that's important to us. But again, we want to thank you on behalf of our board of directors, the staff, the volunteers, but more importantly, the people that we serve. Those are the ones that we strive to make a big impact on their lives. So without further ado, we have something for you, and the mayor or all of you can come down, and we'll be glad to give this to you. I'm going to speak very loud.
Do you want to take that mic?
It says, "An appreciation for our partnership and your continued support as we collaboratively work to fight hunger in our city of Las Cruces. 2022 Hunger Action Month, presented to the city of Las Cruces." We should get a picture with all of you.
Yeah, this is very nice. Thank you very much. I've been here for 11 years, so I've watched you as you've done a fantastic job, Lorenzo. You know, it's incredible how you've taken this organization, you and your team. And you're right, these are extremely challenging times, but yet you still seem to show up to work with of course, your signature grin, and you're just great. And you take a situation that's so challenging and you make it seem like it's, I know there's a lot of work. You're like a duck. On the top, it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but on the bottom, those legs are moving, and that's you. You're always making sure that people have food to eat, and this community would be in dire straits without you and your team. So thank you very much for this. Okay, thank you.
Gracias.
Gracias, Lorenzo.
Thank you so
Gracias.
much.
Gracias por todo.
So next speaker, let's see if you have something to give to council as well. Just kidding. Anyone else on the fifth row? Juan, did you want to say something? Just need you to state your name, please. 3 minutes.
Yes, name is Juan Garcia. First of all, I would like to thank Councilor Graham for attending last week's CCI meeting. It was great having you as well as Councilor Gandara and the mayor. Contrary to President Biden's attempt to demonize all who disagree with the progressive agenda, we are just citizens who care about our community. And thank you. Presiding municipal judge Joy Goldblum has alleged the city's mayor planted a judge on the bench as a means to keep poor and unhoused people behind bars when accused of nonviolent property crimes. I find the quote in the Sunday Las Cruces Sun attributed to the judge very troubling. And if the allegation is false, it's very irresponsible coming from a member of the judiciary. This type of comments, in my opinion, are expected, quote, from legislators and members of the executive or from the Las Cruces City Council rising stars, but not from a judge. I applaud the mayor's effort to resolve the rising crime issue in Las Cruces. The comments Goldblum ran for presiding judge on a campaign which stressed alternatives to incarceration for people living in poverty, unhoused, is, quote, get out of jail card free, because nowhere is there a discussion on how to address accountability and responsibility by those who are alleged to have committed a crime. I guess law-abiding citizens who are affected are expected to suck it up because the perpetrators are living in poverty. That premise is upside down since the victim is twice victimized. Per the Las Cruces Sun article, quote, Goldblum has previously said she butted heads with Ryan while she was an associate judge, saying he resisted her progressive ideas such as DWI courts, homeless courts, and other problem-solving courts. Puts in question Judge Goldblum's impartiality in pushing against the appointment of Judge Ryan if she is concerned he will affect her self-described, quote, progressive ideas. I stand behind you and the City Council's vote on August 1st, thanks to McDivitt of the Las Cruces Sun for highlighting some of the behind-the-scenes political cesspools in the continuation of turning criminals into victims, which really concerns me, since I see, and all of you here are experiencing, the impact crime is having on our community. I hope that the rising stars, as the council is affectionately known by the progressive left, don't cave. Thank you.
Thank you, Juan. When I have a chance to find that email, I'll send it to you. I never asked for any type of high bond. That's totally false. So I guess my server only goes back so many days, but IT has shown me how to do it, so I'm going to figure it out here so I can, because I don't have those emails anymore, but I'll let you look at it. But thank you for those comments. Anyone else on that row?
I'm going to trip one of these times going down there.
I just need you to state your name, please. 3 minutes.
All right. My name is Rick Renault, lifelong Las Cruces resident. I live in Councilor Flores' district. My small business is in Councilor Graham's district, and the embattled dollar store business is across the street in Councilor Beta's district, so it's almost a quorum. And I want to thank Councilor Graham for visiting the CCI Thursday meeting. Councilor Gondara has already visited us, and Mayor Miyagishima has also attended. One more councilor, and we've got a quorum there of sorts. Anyway, what I want to talk today about is metrics, the measurements that Sarah Smith has brought up about the area around Desert Hope Apartments. And I want to give a report. Since Sarah Smith called for metrics, it's 2 windows down to 4 windows down. They have 4 pieces of plywood up there across the street. And there's a big population. I commend the police for more sweeps and all, But you're going to have 80,000 policemen pretty soon because the population around the Desert Hope Apartments is growing. You can drive around and see it. When I arrive on work in the morning, there's people laying on the alley behind. So anyway, I am today respectfully asking again to immediately initiate metrics on that neighborhood. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else on that row?
Hello, everybody. My name is Michael Clark.
I'm sorry, I need you to
Oh, sir. Yes, sir. My name is Michael Clark. Okay. From Las Cruces. I'm a native of Las Cruces. I'm the coach of Crosstown Boxing off the west side, off of Quinsonberry. I have over 50, close to 60 kids who go to my gym. We're a small nonprofit gym. We're right behind the 5-star Imperial Motel. The addiction. It's bad. I saw these young kids talking about walking to school and bike lanes and path lanes. On that side, west side of town, we got tents. We got a lot. It's not a homeless problem. We have an addiction problem. We have an addiction problem that's going on. I worked in the system, corrections, for 21 years, and I retired from it. My goal has been to work with kids and help them see different things. But Picacho, what should be the first exit into Las Cruces, should be the prettiest exit into Las Cruces. Because when you go down here to I-10, you're either going to go to Albuquerque or you're going to go to Texas before you see Sonoma. We're putting everything on the hill. We have Picacho, we got kids walking home through a drug-infested area with druggies walking around them, laying on the street, passed out. We have drunks right behind Circle K, their kids walking right by them, going to school and after school, beer cans in their hand. I had a client of mine from Dunkin' Donuts. She was a manager, a new place. Nice to have a new business coming to town. On this side of town, where kids can get to and find a job. 6 o'clock in the morning, all the windows of the employees were broken out of their cars. Theft. The manager there, she calls me, Mike, I gotta go right away. 6 o'clock in the morning. At 9:20, that's when the officers responded. 9:20. One of the girls did a check on her laptop. It was in Albuquerque by the time the officers got there. That's a problem. Because officers were driving by, you have dispatch telling them they're real busy, and they're waving them down, and they're just driving by. I don't know what the problem is, but our town, I love Las Cruces, and I remember Picacho was a beautiful area. We went swimming there as kids, but it's bad. I had AMCO, a lot of these small businesses come talk to me the other day. They said, Mike, you need to go say something about this, because I got the kids on the side. I put my team on the west side of town so I can have something for kids on that poor side of town to go to. I'm a small nonprofit gym. I've taken girls, fighters to Houston, Odessa, Texas. I've had the first female boxing show in Las Cruces ever. I have teams come from California, Texas, everything, and I had it right there on Picacho at the Eagles Club. I'm not ashamed of my city, but I think we can do a lot more for our kids. We've taken so much away from our kids now. I used to coach football. Every team in bantamweight would be full or needed more, or we have to make another team. Now we can't even fill a team because poor kids can't play the game because they have to buy helmets, they gotta buy pads, they gotta buy pants, they gotta buy everything. Low-income families don't got the money.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Clark.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so that was 5th row, anyone? Oh, that's it. 6th row, anyone? 7th? Last row, so no one on my left. Okay, so I'm gonna start on my right, 2nd row. Yes, sir? Just need you to state your name, please.
Hello, I'm Mark Savachko. I'll take advantage of this opportunity to address you people. I guess mine has to do with the bicycle riders in town. I don't think we're enforcing the law at all in those. I have an example where a couple months ago or so, there was a bicycle rider riding on the wrong side of the road, going through a pedestrian walkway at a high speed through a red light in front of a Las Cruces Police Department vehicle. If you go on some of the streets, it says share the ride. What the heck does that mean? All the streets are share the ride, except for those with designated bike lanes. So either all the streets should have the share the ride sign, or none of them should. I talked to a couple of law enforcement officers, and people riding bikes. I rode a lot of bikes in middle school or junior high and high school, and I like bike riding or so. But they have to follow the traffic laws of the cars, and most bicyclists do not know that. So perhaps some public service announcements, increased enforcement, maybe just warnings or more of an education to the public from the police force would be appreciated. That's all I really have to say.
Thank you, Mark. I agree with you. Perhaps that's something there we could get with our management team and have a little bit more, in addition to, and this might save lives, in addition to wearing some type of reflective clothing, especially in the evening. And a lot of times, I know people, they can see us with the headlights, but we can't see them sometimes, and so I think that's also important. So, okay. That was second row. Anyone third row? Fourth row? Fifth? Sixth row? Seventh? Last row. Anyone? Oh, yes, Judge. And as usual, if you just state your name, please.
Good afternoon, Council. I'm Judge Goldbaum of the Las Cruces Municipal Court. I wasn't planning to speak today, but because of Mr. Garcia's comments, I kind of feel that I need to clarify some misinformation that appeared in yesterday's newspaper article. And I didn't have a chance to respond to the reporter before it went in, but I have never, ever had a policy or a practice of treating homeless people different than any other defendant. I issue warrants for homeless people the same as I do other people when I feel that it is deserved. However, for me to treat a group as a specific class, to either discriminate against them or give them special benefits would be completely unethical. And I don't do that. I do see a lot of homeless people coming in front of me, and I know homelessness is a problem in our community, and crime is as well. Not all homeless people commit crimes. Not all people who commit crimes are homeless. There's some intersection. Mr. Mayor, please let's work together on this. Please talk to me. Stop pushing me away. There's a lot we can do together to address that intersection, and I want to. So please work with me.
Judge, I'd be more than happy to. All I ask is, all I was wanting to know is if someone who's a repeat offender, they go in, they get arrested, they're out, they keep going back and forth, back and forth. We have identified a handful of them who've been arrested 70 times.
Sure, there are probably people that are deemed not competent by the district court, but I do hold people in jail if they violate their conditions. I can't hold them in jail indefinitely. And the thing about jail is it's not a long-term solution. Whether it's a day, a week, a month, 3 months, people get out at some point and they go back to the community they know. You know, we need to do something different to try and resolve this issue.
And I will say this with all due respect, because I only seen one sheet but the one particular sheet of people that I've seen, none of them have come back to court. And so consistently, I hear my colleagues, myself, the police department, we're constantly being looked on as we're the problem. We're not. We're doing what we can. We support our police, our law enforcement. We support our judicial, but we need help too, because you have people who consistently are breaking the law. They get arrested. They're out within a couple hours, and they're back on the street again. And if there's nothing, if they have no consequence, they're just going to keep doing it.
Mr. Mayor, I think you're speaking from a lack of information, because I do issue warrants for people that violate.
And let me just say, excuse me if I may interrupt, I am not speaking about the homeless. I'm talking about anyone who just breaks the law.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Okay.
or so.
So I think what you represented to the paper was incorrect. I am worried about crime. I am worried about homelessness. You know, I do have to treat every single case individually. I cannot treat people as a group to be treated a specific way. I have to look at the case individually, sir.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll be more than happy to work with you, Judge. I appreciate you coming forth, appreciate you being able to take questions, and be more than happy to work with you on that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so anyone else here that want to speak? Okay, that ends public participation. So now we're going to go to, oh, I'm sorry. I just need you to state your name, please, and 3 minutes.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. My name is Lisa Almaguer. I'm a retired municipal court administrator. I have 29 years of experience. I'm a certified court executive with the National Center for State Courts. I'm here today because I'm concerned about the same thing as a gentleman that came before you. Crime in Las Cruces is up. There's a reason for it. City is a home rule municipality. The purpose of that designation is to ensure maximum local self-government. Because of that, the city has a municipal court whose judge swore by oath to support the ordinances and laws of the municipality. Those laws are of concern to the local population, as evidenced by all the people that come in front of you telling you that. This is why there's ordinances of local concern. Things like indecent exposure, criminal trespass, shoplifting. Expecting local judges to impose sentences that influence lawful behavior is not unreasonable. The current judge asserts that holding repeat offenders who are a clear danger to Las Cruces residents is somehow inconsistent with state law. It is not. Whether an individual is homeless or not, we as citizens of Las Cruces expect them to abide the laws that we also follow. We expect our judges to adhere to their oaths and enforce that, and that's not happening. There's a reason our government was set up with 3 branches, and that purpose is for checks and balances. After fielding the numerous complaints that you do, it is the duty of this legislative branch of our local government to inquire and do something about the judicial branch and its lack of support for the ordinances of the city. The current judge has openly shown her bias against lawfulness when a person who's accused of being unlawful is homeless. She's told me personally that she will not jail any individual who is homeless, regardless of how many times they commit a crime. State law and the bail reform that was enacted does not say that homeless individuals cannot be given jail sentences. It says that anyone, including the homeless and the poor, cannot be held before trial under the condition of payment of any kind of money or bail. However, they can have conditions of release that must be adhered to stay released. The current judge refuses to do this to ensure safety and lawfulness in the city of Las Cruces. I'd also like to point out that in front of this council, Judge Goldbaum misrepresented that she was part of what she called a transparent process for a vacant municipal judge 2 position, when in fact that process was to review applicants for alternate judge positions, which are temporary hourly positions. Very different from what she was suggesting. The appointment of a full-time elected judge when there's a vacancy not aligned with an election is the sole discretion of this council. It's a very important duty, which is one of the many reasons that you as the council are elected. And since the current judge suggested that the council check the other judges' records prior to the appointment, I suggest that this council check her record to see if her findings and sentences for people are consistent with maximum local self-government, and that is shared with the public, because numbers don't lie. So why aren't numbers being shared? Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Almaguer. Okay, is there anyone else here before we close public comment? Okay, so public participation is over, and now we go to acceptance of the agenda.
Move to accept. Graham.
Second, Bencomo.
Okay, motion made by Councilor Graham, second by Councilor Bencomo. Teresa?
This is on a motion to accept the agenda as presented. Councilor Abeyta?
Yes.
Councilor Graham?
Yes.
Councilor Bencomo?
Yes.
Councilor Curran?
Yes.
Councilor Flores?
Yes.
Councilor Gandara?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, that's pretty fast. That's okay, that's all right. So if you recall, Teresa, she's the deputy city clerk, so she's flying today. Yeah, this is her practice. Okay, so next item is 6.1. It's a public hearing. It's 2 p.m., so the public hearing is now on. Is there any members here in the public who wish to discuss either for or against the approval of a beer and wine liquor license on premises consumption only to Verlander Enterprises LLC, doing business as Buttersmith Kitchen and Pies, located at 445 South Tell Shore, Las Cruces, New Mexico? Okay, seeing none. It's 2:01 p.m. Public hearing is now closed. Entertain a motion to adopt Resolution
So moved.
23-029.
I'm sorry, I'm really excited about the pie and the mimosas, so I move to approve this.
Okay.
Second by Flores.
Okay, a motion made by Councilor Curran, second by Councilor Flores. Teresa?
This is on a motion to approve the resolution 23-29. Councilor Abeyta?
Yes.
Councilor Graham?
Yes.
Councilor Bencomo?
Yes.
Councilor Curran?
Yes.
Councilor Flores?
Yes.
Councilor Gandara?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 6.2, Resolution 23-030. I need a motion and a second.
So moved. Abeyta. Second. Graham.
Okay, motion made by Councilor Beta, second by Councilor Graham. And Sherelle De La Cruz will be presenting, and as well as Sarah Conduff. Or are you just here for moral support? Okay.
Okay. Greetings, Mayor, City Council members. Sherelle De La Cruz, Budget Analyst for the record. Today I'm presenting to you the resolution to adjust our FY 22-23 budget for various budget adjustments. So there are no new programs, policy, or initiatives. Our adjustments are focused on compliance and alignment. You will see several carryover adjustments along with bringing budget to actuals. We are amending the CIP. And as always, we strive to follow routine budgetary best practices. So just a reminder, we are looking at the highlighted third column here. Those are our adjustments. E is for expense, R is for revenue, T is for transfer. Anything within parentheses is a decrease. So the very two adjustments here are within the General Fund 1000, and you'll notice that Community Development and the City Manager's Office have the same amount here, and that's because funds are going between the two accounts. City Manager's increasing their expenses by $991,000, and Community Development is decreasing their expenses by the same amount. This is being done due to an organization restructure from CD to CMO's office, and funds will be used for personnel and operating expenses. Also within the general fund, Parks and Rec, we are increasing their expenses by $83,000. This is to adjust the competitive pool to actuals and also for carryovers for the recreational trials program and University Loop, smart controllers, neighborhood parks, and the Butterfield Shooting Range project. Fund 1000, non-department, we are increasing revenue by $500,000 to adjust for a budget adjustment to correct revenue. And Fund 1030, the economic department is increasing their expenses by $50,000, and that's to expand the downtown event programming. The VAF fund, $12,000. Police, we are increasing their expense line by $64,000, and this is to carry over funds for 2 vehicles that did not arrive in FY22. Fund 2100, Economic Development Department. We are increasing both revenue and expenses by $500,000, and these are for the Lita Saputo funds. Fund 2100, Parks and Rec, we are decreasing both revenue and expenses by $577, and that is to bring budget to actuals for the Fitlock Grant project. Fund 4005, Parks and Rec, we are decreasing by $19,000, and that is for budget adjustments for the 2019 Median Improvement Program and the Chandler Tank Program. 4100, Parks and Rec, we are decreasing revenue and expenses by $95,000, and that is to bring budget to actuals for projects RPT at University Loop, park security lighting, and Pioneer Park projects. Fund 4106, Parks and Rec, we're decreasing expenses by $365,000, and that is to bring budget to actuals for the park impact fee. Fund 4228, Airport, we're increasing by $258,000, expenses for carryovers for the East Area Taxi Lane project. Fund 5010, Airport, $197,000 will be increased in expenses for the carryover for air service, the master plan, and the Space Expo project. Fund 5100, Utilities, is increasing their revenue by $10,000, increasing expense by $177,000, and they have a transfer out for $75,000 going over to the 5160 fund, and the revenue expense adjustments are for carryovers for personnel and operating. Fund 5160, Utilities, we're increasing expenses by $229,000, and that is for carryover of vehicle replacements. And they do have a transfer coming in of $75,000 from Fund 5100. Fund 5200, Utilities, we're increasing revenue by $30,000. They have a $85,000 increase in expenses for carryovers for investment grade audit. And they have a transfer coming in from Fund 5260. Fund 5250, Utilities, $100,000 increase in expenses, and that is for a carryover for the employee parking lot. Fund 5260, Utilities, increasing in expense by $212,000. That is to carry over vehicles, funds for vehicle purchases, and they have a transfer coming in for $200,000 from Fund 5200. Fund 5300, Utilities, we are increasing revenue by $20,000, increasing expense by $270,000 for carryovers for minor equipment, investment grade audit, and Safe Drinking Water Act sampling. There is a transfer going out of $35,000 to Fund 5360. Fund 5320, Utilities, we are increasing revenue by $15,000, decreasing expense by $6,000, and that is to carry over funds for minor equipment and water conservation plan. Fund 5332, Utilities, we have a transfer coming in for $29,000 from both Fund 5342 and 5377. Fund 5342, Utilities, we have a transfer going out to Fund 5332 for $29,000. Fund 5350, Utilities, we have an expense increase of $25,000, and that is for a carryover of funds for the employee parking lot. Fund 5360, Utilities, $95,000 increase in expenses for increased costs of equipment purchases. We also have a transfer coming in from Fund 5300 for $35,000. Fund 5377, utilities, we are actually closing out that fund, so we have a transfer of $1 going out to Fund 5332. Fund 5389, utilities, we have a transfer coming in for $887,000 from Fund 5396. Then there you see Fund 5396, that transfer going out for the $887,000. Fund 5400, we have an increase of $20,000 in expenses, and that is to carry over minor equipment and professional services for PCB analysis. And we also have a transfer out to Fund 5460. Fund 5401, utilities, we're increasing expenses by $118,000, and that's to carry over wastewater impact fees study and ongoing capital CIP projects. Fund 5435, utilities, we have a transfer coming in of $14. Fund 5441, utilities, we have a transfer coming in for $9,442. Fund 5442, you see the other end of that transfer, so the transfer coming in for $9,442. Fund 5450, utilities, we're increasing both revenue and expenses for $206,000, and that is to carry over the wastewater grant 19D2457. Fund 5460, utilities, we are doing an increase in expenses for $100,000 to carry over major equipment and rolling stock, and then we have a transfer coming in of $100,000 from Fund 5400. Fund 5475, utilities, we have a transfer going out for $14 to Fund 5435. Fund 5481, utilities, the transfer coming in for $139,000. 5491, you see that transfer going out for the same amount. Fund 5500, utilities, we are increasing expense by $652,000, and those funds will be used to carry over employee parking lot and budget solid waste fleet into utilities. Fund 5510, utilities, increasing expense by $115,000, and those funds are to carry over pre-1965 landfill phase 2 project. Fund 5560, utilities, we're increasing expense of $12,000 to carry over diagnostic scanners for solid waste vehicles. And lastly, we have Fund 7480, and within this fund for police, we will be increasing both revenue and expense by $800. This donation has come in from the makers of the movie Wanted Man. With it, a memo. They wanted to thank LCPD for all their hard work and assistance in making the recent locally filmed movie. Fire has also received a donation for $5,000 from the M. Barlow Estate to be used for MIH program. Along with the check, the late Melvin Mel's Barlow family wanted to thank Paul Ford and the MIH team for all the care and invaluable assistance they gave their loved one, Mel. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Sarah Kunda to go over the CIP.
May I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm just curious, $14, what was that for, bubble gum?
I believe that's a transfer.
That's on page 11.
Yes, and it's within 2 funds. I believe we have a representative here from utilities that may be able to give us some more insight.
I'm just curious, you're showing us the fund it's coming from, it's kind of sort of what it's transferring to, but we don't know what it's for.
Right.
So we're at a loss. You show us a lot of numbers, but we really, then we have to approve this. That's the one thing I've always said. From one fund to another and another number. So yes. I don't know how we can learn more about this.
Yes,
and I don't know if it's something, I just don't understand.
Yes, Ms. Flores, do we have someone from utilities? Maybe can share some more insight on their transfers. We did have a lot this quarter, so.
So I think specifically you just want to know where the $14 went or came from, right?
Well, I'm curious about the $14, and I'm curious, and I don't know that this is the forum to fully understand what these, 5475, for example, what fund, what are the monies in that fund used for? And it's a huge department. I recognize that it's its own business, really. But then we have to make the decision. So I've always felt somewhat uncomfortable with the lack of information.
Good afternoon. My name is Abner Gomez. I'm the interim rate and economic analysis manager. Regarding your question, some of these small transfers that you see from one account to another is to make a fund inactive. There's some certain requirements they have to have. They have to be unused for a couple years and then have a zero balance. So some of these accounts either have a small balance left on them and we have to move it out to make it inactive, or some might have a small deficit, so we're moving money into them to make them inactive. There was a specific account that had
Excuse me, you move money into them to make them inactive or active?
To have a zero balance. So to make it inactive, it can have a zero, it has to have a zero balance and not be used for a specific period of time, which I believe is 3 years.
Okay.
So a lot of these transfers that you see between funds, that's what we're doing.
Oh, the fund you're going from?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it can either be to or from,
Mm-hmm.
if that answers your question.
Yes.
Yes.
No. What is, so 5475 fund, that one's presumably, based on what you just explained, is going to be closed?
So that one is going to be closed out, and you can see that the $14 is being transferred to Fund 5435. So I don't have the name of that account right off the top, since I'm covering for my supervisor, but I would believe that 5475 is the one that will be closed out.
Okay. So then all these other funds, 5481, 5491, et cetera, what, well, that's a huge entity there, enterprise, but I don't know, maybe in another form, I'd like to really understand what all those departments are, or the funds. I mean, it's one department and many, many funds.
Are you suggesting a fund name for clarification?
Well, it would be great to know what the fund name is.
Yeah, that's feasible.
Yeah. Okay, we can do it another time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor Flores, excuse me, Mayor, if I may, this is Barbara De Leon. Sorry,
Where's
I
that
was
voice
way
coming
over
from?
here. I apologize. I don't want to startle you. But I was going to suggest that we could also take this up at the Finance Select Committee meeting to just go over the typical kinds of fund transfers, in addition to providing some more clarifying information in this forum when it comes before the full council. But if you like, that could be an agenda topic for a future select committee meeting. Councilor
For the
Flores.
Finance Select Committee. Well, that would be great, but I think it'd be great if all the counselors were
Yes.
great. Thank you, Barbara. Ms. De Leon, thank you. And thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay, Sarah.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mayor, members of council. My name is Sarah Cundiff. I'm the management analyst for Public Works. I am going to go over all of the amendments for the CIP. We have quite a lot that say budget to actuals. So just a brief reminder that budget to actuals can also be called a carryover. This is simply a description to say that we are making the carried over budget match the actual project balance. Budget to actuals. So you'll see here we have the airport infrastructure improvements, which is being adjusted for budget to actuals. Runway 422 has its cost estimates in the future years in FY24 updated. That cost estimate came back in, and as opposed to 1.5 million, it came in at 1.8 million. So it was revised as well as readjusted as those projects in the future year columns are listed in descending order of monetary value. Then we have the enhancement of the Broadway access for the airport. That project is being removed from the CIP as the installation is going to take place through a private entity, and the municipality is no longer on the hook for any of those improvements. We have the Butterfield ADA improvements, Chandler Tank, Las Cruces lateral RTP, median landscaping, Metro Verde neighborhood parks, all being adjusted for budget to actuals. We have Veterans Park parking lot being listed for clarification under the Parks Parking Lot Project. And we have park security and lighting being adjusted for budget to actuals. We have park smart controllers, Pioneer Women's Park gazebo, the Regional Aquatic Center construction, neighborhood parks, wastewater development new interceptors, wastewater septic systems, the gas administrative building, solid waste building, and water building all being adjusted for budget to actuals. And with that, I will stand for questions.
Any questions? Members of the public? Seeing none. Teresa?
This is on a motion to approve the resolution 23-030. Counselor Abeyta?
Yes.
Counselor Graham?
Yes.
Counselor Bencomo?
Yes.
Counselor Curran?
Yes.
Counselor Flores?
Yes.
Counselor Gondara?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Item 6.3, Resolution 23-031.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Abeyta, second by Councilor Curran, and Rocio Gamboa will be presenting.
Hello. Hi, Mayor, and Council members, Rocio Gamboa, Budget Analyst. Today I'm bringing before you a resolution to accept 1 federal grant, 3 state grants, and 1 modification grant. The Police Department received an award 2021 Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistant Grant for $120,100 from the New Mexico Department of Public Safety, Department of Justice. The funding will provide a smart forensic technology equipment as well as training and the purchase of the equipment. The project period is from July 1st, 22 to June 30th of 23. Economic Development Department received 22 permanent supportive housing junior bill for $50,000 from the New Mexico Department of Finance. Funding will provide permanent supportive housing to the homeless population with disabilities and their families in Las Cruces. The funds will revert on June 30th of 23. Public Works Department received Tal Shore ADA Improvement Phase 6, and the total funds for Fund 4100 is $237,494, with a match in the Flood Control Fund for $79,165, for a total of $316,659. This this grant came from the New Mexico Department of Transportation. The funding will provide for the continuation of the Tal Shore 88 Project Phase 6 from Claude Dove Drive to Doral Court, that's the west side of Tal Shore, and from Claude Dove Drive to Hillrise Drive on the east side of Tal Shore. The project will include the reconstruction of existing sidewalks, ADA ramps, and drive pads to bring the sidewalks into compliance with ADA requirements. Public Works received 23 MAP funding Delray Boulevard signal improvements for $150,000 with a match from GRT Street Maintenance for $50,000 for a total of $200,000 from the New Mexico Department of Transportation. The funding will allow for signal improvements and fiber installation at Delray Boulevard up to the Northwest Drive and Tal Shore Boulevard intersection. The city will provide the required 25% match and is responsible for any cost in excess of the grant award. HIDA has been awarded FY23 modification grant. This modification is an increase in funding of $158,076 to bring the total FY23 amount to $1,220,444. The grant was from Executive Office of President, Office of National Drug Control Policy. The increased funding is for the relocation and the rent of new offices for the program. And this shall do it for this month. Here are your council options. I will stand for questions along with Amy Basford from Grants. We also have David Cedillos from Public Works, Elizabeth Teeters from Economic Development, Sandra Russell from HIDA available to assist.
Thanks, Rocio. Questions, Councilor Cran?
I have a question that's probably more for Mr. Cedillo, so sorry in advance, but related to the Delray signal improvements, thank you, Mr. Trevino. I'm happy to see you. I'm just curious what will happen on that road, and I know that Delray is a source of a lot of heartache for folks in my district as far as the traffic goes, so if you could just tell us a little bit about it, that would be awesome, please.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council, Councilor Coran. This is Tony Trevino, Deputy Director of Public Works for the record. This grant is going to help improve and replace a lot of the equipment for that intersection. A lot of that stuff is outdated, so we can kind of keep up with the ongoing technology improvements. So that is just kind of equipment update for that intersection. That is, a lot of it was constructed and installed when NMDOT did the Highway 70 extension, so those have been there for quite some time. We do have an MOU with NMDOT to go there and maintain those, so this is an opportunity for us to replace it and upgrade that intersection.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Members of the public? Seeing none. Teresa?
This is on a motion to approve Resolution 23-031. Councilor Abeyta?
Yes.
Councilor Graham?
Yes.
Councilor Bencomo?
Yes.
Councilor Coran?
Yes.
Councilor Flores?
Yes.
Councilor Gondra?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, item 6.4, Resolution 23-032.
Move to approve.
Second.
Graham. Oh, sorry, Mayor.
Motion made by Councilor Beta, second by Mayor Pro Tem Gondra, and Sherelle De La Cruz will present with
Hello
Sarah as
again.
backup.
This one is not as long, I promise. Okay, so Sherelle De La Cruz, Budget Analyst. Greetings, Council, Mayor. So I'm presenting the resolution to adjust our FY 22-23 budget to include the American Rescue Act Plan, ARPA allocation for the second tranche. So some quick background. You may recall we brought in the first tranche of $12.3 million in August of 2021. Today we will be bringing in the second tranche for the same amount. Together, the ARPA direct allocation is $24.7 million. So for Fund 2100, various departments will be increasing the revenue by $10.1 million. And all these on this slide will be for Fund 2100. Police will be increasing expense for $200,000, and that will be for police smart technology. Fire, $675,000 increase in expense, and that is for CPR and EMT training. Also for PPE, emergency response equipment. Utilities, $875,000. That is for the Sewer Connect program. And Economic Development Department is $7.5 million, and that is for community and economic initiatives and neighborhood services. Excuse me, Fund 2100, Visit Las Cruces, which is held within the CMO's office, we will be increasing by $500,000, and that is for advertising, web visual assets, event revitalization, and key programs. Public Works will also be increasing their expenses by $365,000, and this is for the engineering design of a CIT/MIH mental integrated healthcare building. Within 4100 Fund Public Works, we will be increasing both revenue and expense by $2.2 million, and that is for Calle Encanto and Calle del Sol roadway reconstruction projects. And I'll hand it over to Sarah Cundiff to go over the CIP portion.
Thank you, Sherelle. Good afternoon, Mayor, members of Council. Again, this is Sarah Cundiff, Management Analyst for Public Works. We have 3 amendments to the CIP to reflect the ARPA budget adjustments. Those respective projects are the design of the fire department's CIT and MIH building, the continuation of funding for the public safety smart technologies, and Casa Linda Acres, which I would like to clarify. Casa Linda Acres is a collection of 3 different roadways. The subdivision is called Casa Linda Acres. So those 3 roadways are Avenida Blanco from Valley to Calle Encanto, which is currently funded for $450,000 Calle Encanto from Avenida de Mesilla to Brown, and Calle de Sol from Avenida de Mesilla to Avenida Blanco. So the 2.2 million from ARPA is being combined with the 450,000 already on the CIP. I hope that clarifies why the portion on the CIP is listed as 2.65 as opposed to 2.2, as it is the combination of both. Before I turn it over for questions, I would like to let you know this is my last presentation on the CIP, as the CIP analyst position has been filled. I will still be assisting in the transition behind the scenes. I have been facilitating the CIP for over 4 years now. It's been a wonderful and interesting experience. I want to thank everyone who has supported me over the last 4 years, and I look forward to continuing to serve Public Works as their management analyst. With that, I will stand for questions.
Thank you. Councilor Correa?
I have not a question, actually. I would just wanted to say that when we became, when we were onboarded as new councilors, I mean, the CIP is a large opaque spreadsheet that is basically incomprehensible to the untrained eye. And I really thank you for orienting us in a way that allows us to understand what's happening and being really clear. And that onboarding has been invaluable in my time so far. And so I'm sad to see, but I'm happy to see that you're moving on to more things that hopefully you can help explain to us as we ask you many questions. So thank you so much, Sarah. It really means a lot that you put so much into helping us understand that.
Mayor, Councilor Coran, it's been my pleasure.
Anyone else? Members of the public? But you'll still be around and make presentations, though, right?
Mayor, not related to the CIP, unless a presentation presents itself on behalf of the Public Works Management Analyst. I will no longer be up at this podium.
Oh, okay. Well, you've done a great job. Thank you for all that you do. Okay. Okay, if there's nothing further, Teresa.
This is on a motion to approve resolution number 23-032. Councilor Abeyta?
Yes.
Councilor Graham?
Yes.
Councilor Bencomo?
Yes.
Councilor Corran?
Yes.
Councilor Flores?
Yes.
Councilor Gondara?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, next is item 6.5, resolution 23-033.
Move to approve. Second, Graham.
Okay, motion made by Councilor Abeyta, second by Councilor Graham, and Amy Johnson-Basford will be presenting.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Amy Johnson-Basford, Grants Manager for the city. Today we are going to be discussing the proposed awards of 2022 legislative capital outlays that will be administered by New Mexico Department of Transportation. The New Mexico Department of Transportation is the oversight agency for all transportation-related legislative appropriations. They do require a resolution that indicates that council will accept the award and make it one of their priorities. So this is not an acceptance of the grant agreement, just of the award. Once we have the grant agreement executed by the city manager and the secretary of the Department of Transportation, it will come back to council for acceptance during the regular budget resolution adjustment. Yeah, I said that backwards, sorry. The regular budget resolution to accept grants into the budget. So the first one that we received was for roads and drainage improvements of $100,000. This is to plan, design, and construct road improvements on the East Mesa of Las Cruces. This supplements the funding that we've received the past couple of years for East Mesa roads and drainage improvements. The second one is for the Las Cruces International Airport improvements. This is $500,000. This is to acquire land and rights of way for and to plan, design, construct, renovate, purchase, furnish, equip, and install infrastructure at the Las Cruces International Airport. And the final one that we have is for North Telshore and Spruce Street improvements. If you'll recall, a year or so ago, we had a capital outlay to study this intersection. This will be the first phase of improvements to that intersection of $650,000. This is to plan, design, construct, equip, and install improvements at that intersection. And with that, I will stand for questioning, or council options, and I will stand for questions.
Thank you, Amy. Questions? Oh, Councilor Flores.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you so much, Amy. On page 5, I thought we had already allocated money and things had been done at that intersection on North Tail Shore and Spruce. I mean, I know the lanes were redesigned and there were more semaphores, so
there was some work done on the intersection. We do have Sugu Lee, who's the streets administrator, if he'd like to come down and explain what was done already and what's going to be done in the next one, unless Tony will do it.
I'll help Sue out. Good afternoon again, Mayor, City Council. Councilor Flores, yes, we did have a grant before where we did an extensive study of that intersection, and with the available funding, we were able to do some temporary improvements. Either you had that double turn lane to the left heading north on Tail Shore, but also as part of that study was a future kind of permanent fix, which is going to involve some reconfiguration, some additional lanes that will be implemented. So that's the next phase going into this project.
additional lanes on Tail Shore or Spruce?
Tail Shore.
Tail Shore.
Not additional lanes, but additional configuration to have kind of a high T. It's a whole different style of design for that intersection.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Style. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome, Sue.
Okay. Any other questions, members of the public? Seeing none. Teresa?
This is on a motion to approve Resolution 23-033. Counselor Abeyta?
Yes.
Counselor Graham?
Yes.
Counselor Bencomo?
Yes.
Counselor Curran?
Yes.
Counselor Flores?
Yes.
Counselor Gondara?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, that takes care of those. So next is board appointments. And to the Oversight Committee, I want to reappoint myself. So,
what do we do?
nothing. You just grin and bear it. This next one is I need a motion, a second, to reappoint Councilor Tessa Abeyta to the Oversight Committee.
So moved by Flores.
Second, Graham.
Motion made by Councilor Flores, second by Councilor Graham. Teresa?
This is on a motion to reappoint Counselor Abeyta to the reappointment for Counselor Abeyta to the Oversight Committee. Counselor Abeyta? Yes. Counselor Abeyta?
Yes.
Counselor Graham?
Yes.
Counselor Bencomo?
Yes.
Counselor Curran?
Yes.
Counselor Flores?
Yes.
Counselor Gondara?
Yes.
Counselor, Mayor?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so next we go to notice of proposed ordinances.
Mayor, there's one more appointment for oversight.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ekman.
Just checking to make sure you're paying attention. Teresa, I'll just check and make sure I do that once in a while to see if since you're trying this out here. Need a motion, a second, to reappoint Jack Ekman to the Oversight Committee.
So moved by Flores.
Second, Abeyta.
Motion made by Councilor Flores, second by Councilor Abeyta. Yeah. Teresa?
This is on a motion to reappoint Jack Ekman as a reappointment to the Oversight Committee. Counselor Abeyta?
Yes.
Counselor Graham?
Yes.
Counselor Bencomo?
Yes.
Counselor Curran?
Yes.
Counselor Flores?
Yes.
Counselor Gondara?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, now we go to notice of proposed ordinances 8.1, Council Bill number 23-005, ordinance number 3011.
Bring it forward.
Bring it forward.
Bring it forward. Yeah.
Okay, item number 8.2, Council Bill number 23-006, ordinance number 3012.
Bring it forward.
Okay, bring it forward. Next page here. Oh. Okay, now we go to City Council member board reports and comment. Really don't have any, but so Mayor Pro Tem.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Last week I attended the Housing Summit in Albuquerque and learned a great deal about programming for housing, and the speakers were fantastic, and I look forward to working with Natalie and her staff as we move forward in supplying housing here in Las Cruces. Councilor Bengoma and I will be meeting with our faith leaders again on Thursday. I think this is a 4th meeting, September 22nd from 1:30 to 3. Met with the Salvation Army directors this morning, Mayor. I understand that they met with you. They'd like to organize and maintain a cooling station for next year. In partnership with the city of Las Cruces, the hours of operation would be from 8 to 6 p.m. They would offer food, water, clothing, cots, showers, etc. That we just need to identify a building, and they would do the rest. I understand, Mayor, that when they met, I think you were in support of that, but asked that they meet with City Council, and so I'm bringing it up in hopes that we could get a nod here for EFO and staff to look into what it would take for them to start their own cooling stations.
Yeah, Mayor Pro Tem, what I had mentioned to them was, and I don't know if some of the council members are aware of this, but there is a company that's on the West Mesa called Alaska Structures, and they build these massive tents that was used primarily for the military when they were out in Afghanistan and Iraq. And so I thought it would be good if the city had one on hand for emergencies, and that could be, we just buy it one time and then we can place it wherever we need to. That was the primary thing I'd mentioned to them. And depending on the cost, if it fell under EFO's authority, then let him get it. If not, then we need to do whatever we need to do to get bids and do that. But I just thought it would be a good idea that the city had an emergency, basically one of those massive tents. And so that's probably the best thing to do, is to, I guess, direct Eric to work with EFO to see what the prices would be. And if it's a larger amount, then we may need to bring it back to council if that's something that we're okay with doing.
Thank you, Mayor. I also received numerous emails about the demolition of the house on Pinon Street. Folks that were concerned and felt that the case, quote unquote, should be heard in front of the Historic Preservation Committee. I don't believe that it was. Would like to clarify the process and add a notification to the city councilors when that is occurring, and maybe a press release to the community, informing them of such demolitions. There are also concerns about the Trust Building on Main and Three Crosses. What, if anything, can be done to save this building from the perspective of the city? Can we have a closed session to discuss it further, or hear it on the agenda, maybe in our Infrastructure Policy Review Committee? And then lastly, I was hoping to get another block party set up for the Fall Festival in and around the Tree Streets area. I know that I spoke to Cynthia about that, and I just wanted to get it on the agenda to move through the process with staff and EFO. I hope that we can explore that further. Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor Pro Tem, on that building, that Trust Building, of course, that is owned by the developers now, Zach Weigert and his company. So I did have a chance to reach out to Zach and told him what was going on, and he said it's possible that he could keep one wall and incorporate that into whatever structure they're going to build. But apparently the clubhouse is right in the middle of the road, or wherever it is, what they're going to do with it. But he thinks that he might be able to keep some portion of it that would remain the original, so that it could be preserved for history.
Mayor, how long ago was that conversation?
Probably several months ago.
Yeah, I've understood that he no longer owns that property. He sold it out, and it belongs to.
It doesn't belong to him.
Doesn't belong to him. It belongs to others, and there's a lot of discussion being had about selling, tearing it down, and of course our community that is concerned about historic preservation has been notifying me and concerned, and I think we all have received various emails in the last couple of weeks related to that building.
Yeah, if you can find the owner, I'll be more than happy to reach out to them again. Because when I would respond back to them, they'd say, oh, okay, thank you, and then was it. So I didn't know ownership had changed hands. Okay. Councilor Flores?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I too was going to bring up the Trost, I guess it was a clubhouse. And I too have met with many people who have asked if we can do anything. And my answer to them was that it is now in private hands, and the owner of the property pretty much can do what it wants to do, only because it was never designated as a historic place by any entity. So unfortunately, it's going to go. I know Greg Smith worked very hard to preserve it, because Trost, T-R-O-S-T, is, I mean, that house and his designs were just absolutely beautiful. I also want to say that the gun buyback on Saturday was quite successful, so I want to thank the chief and police officers. I wasn't able to make it there as I was last year, but I think there were, 150 assault weapons that were turned in?
Good afternoon, Mayor, Councilor Flores. There was 122 that were turned in.
Oh, 100.
Different varieties.
Oh, different varieties. 150 assault weapons sounds a lot better, so let me continue with my lie. I'm a politician, I'm supposed to lie. No, I'm sorry for the misinformation, but I'm glad you were here to clarify it for me. Thank you, Chief. So I'm very happy about that. I want to thank Marina Viscoli, who has worked ardently on this. I know that I introduced a resolution for, or I think the mayor and I did, on this sort of thing. Anyway, at any rate, so on September 8th, the Las Cruces Community Schools met at Alameda School, elementary school. And the community schools, the goal of a community school is to incorporate the entire community. And I know that it's still going on now at Doña Ana Elementary School. And the principal there, Sherry Love, has really drawn in the community. And I don't know the name of the new coordinator there for the community schools, but Maria Zuniga was there and set it up beautifully, and now she's at Alameda Elementary. Anyway, they have a couple of gardens going on, and Vida, is that the name? Vida from FYI was there. Brian Kavanaugh, the CEO of FYI, sits on the board, serves on the board, and the La Vida project presented on how they really reach out to youth. At any rate, also on the following week, there was a ribbon cutting ceremony for a new community school, and that's Mesilla Valley Park on Union. And that went very well, and the turnout was fantastic. There were parents and all sorts of people there. Also, on the 14th, Centennial High School had a civic engagement, and I learned about it because Dr. Wendy Miller Tomlinson and Dr. Roberto Lozano, I said, okay, let's go. And I said, where? And they go, over to Centennial. Okay, so we went over to Centennial. Turned out that Councilor Bencomo and Mayor Pro Tem Gandara, along with Manny Sanchez, Marcy Dickerson, Bob Wolford, and Shannon Reynolds were on a panel. And so Dr. Lozano and I walked over to see how that panel was going, and that's when I learned that Councilor Bencomo had an emergency with her puppy. And so I was asked to sit in. I don't know well, we don't know which way it's going to go, but I think Centennial will be in your district.
Centennial is already in my district.
Oh, it's already in your district? Oh, and I was belly aching. I said, you should be asking the counselor who sits here. There's going to be a different one next year. Well, I was right about that part.
No, I had reached out
But
to them.
it's
They
always
never
been there?
responded back. Yeah, they never responded back.
So there you have it. But anyway, so they're on notice for that. I mean, if something's going on in a counselor's district, that counselor should be, not to the exclusion of others, but included in that. But it was absolutely wonderful and riveting to see, it was, I think, the entire freshman class. It was huge. And they were very receptive and young, and it was absolutely invigorating to be there. The City Art Board meets on the first or second Thursday of the month, and they've been doing fantastic work. They were honored by the Doña Ana Arts Council last night, and Mayor Pro Tem Gandaraz, Senator Souls, and I were there. Who else was there that we know? And then the entire City Art Board was there. And Greg Smith, being the CEO of the Doña Ana Arts Council, made it all happen. It was absolutely wonderful. And there's an event going on. Where's Chris? Chris, where's my email? This Friday, there's going to be a wonderful event, and it's about, I think I want to call it barrio art, but I don't think that's really the title, but it sounds good, barrio art. But it's art from artists from this part of the world. The border, that's what it is, the border. I'm sorry, barrio, border, it's all the same. At any rate, that'll be this Friday, and it's free to the public, and it's going to be absolutely wonderful. I wish I had the poster. I left it in my other car. So anyway, so at the Airport Advisory Board meeting, Guy Ruel, who's with King Du Bois and King, said that we'll know within a short period of time when we'll have the interstate travel all set up, and interstate travel is also being considered, and something that Andy Hume clarified for me, if not others, is that we can have interstate travel right now, so long as it's less than 30 passengers, because TSA doesn't kick in till you have 31 or more. So, and I know that Andy is looking ardently into this. And I know that Guy Ruel from Du Bois and King is also, and he presented he presented to us via Zoom. He usually flies out because he loves Las Cruces. And so that's going really well. And then on September 29, the Las Cruces Chamber of Commerce will be having its big gala dinner at the airport. And the reason Debbie Moore, the CEO of the Las Cruces Chamber of Commerce, is doing it there is because she believes that the airport is definitely going to be an economic driver and will be a very successful airport, and has been very supportive of everything we're doing to that end. So let's see. Oh, and then on October 15, I didn't forget the poster for that. Is that my sleeve? Airport Appreciation Day Saturday, October 15, 2022, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And they wanted to do a big aeronautical thing, but Tanya Privet, who actually she designed this and printed it out the morning of the meeting we had last week, and graciously let me have this. So it's a big, and then you can see the sponsors are Molson Corbin, the engineers, and Du Bois and King. But the important thing is that it's really a fun event, and it's going to maybe be a little bit different next year because they wanted to have more aeronautical stuff, but somehow it just didn't, I don't know, didn't work out. So that's all I have for now. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilor Correa?
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple notes. If you thought your high school students were young, Mayor Pro Tem Gandara and I had an opportunity to meet with the Virtual Learning Academy of fourth graders, and they were on Civic Engagement Day, and they were really adorable, including one student named Teddy who had a list of questions to ask us, and they were hard questions like, what are you doing about homelessness? And I felt like we were like, oh wow, I don't know if we were ready for this conversation, but I think we did okay. And the kids were so enthusiastic and so excited that we're with the Virtual Learning Academy, so that was really fun for us to visit with them. A few other notes related to the district. There are going to be road closures for Fog and Seal. Fog and Seal, is that right? Is that the right thing? It's a little mysterious, but around the Elks area in the next week or so. So just as a heads up for folks who live near there. I also had the opportunity to meet with some of the folks associated with the recovery event that's happening, the Southwest Summit event that's happening here on September 30th, and that was already covered earlier, but just as a friendly reminder, during the day, it's open to people, any providers or people who might work with folks who are in any kind of recovery, which is recovery for all of us is the theme. And then that evening on the plaza from 6 to 9, there's the Recovery Night celebration event. So I was excited to hear from them and sponsor that event. Similarly, I had the opportunity to meet with the Uniform Prevention Coalition, which is a substance abuse and prevention coalition of folks. They both wanted to follow up on some of the conversations around cannabis that they had when the original sort of structures for permitting around cannabis have, but then also they wanted to extend an invitation to the city, and I sort of put this to Assistant City Manager Enriquez, but they have a couple of harm reduction related activities that they'd be happy to do with the city, including potentially having Narcan training for folks who might be going out and interfacing with people who are overdosing. And then they also have a number of materials that I'm hoping to connect with the folks in quality of life who do outreach to the aging population on sort of mixing of medications and all of those things. So I'll follow up with you all later to connect that as a possibility. Other items, the TSI PRC is meeting October 4th at 8:30 a.m. Among the folks on the agenda, the Doñana Resilience leaders will be talking about fare free transit, and the airport will be sort of having we'll be having a picture of the airport, and the event may actually take place at the airport. I'll keep talking to Andy to see if we might have that meeting there to show off some of the things that are going on at that time. So that's October 4th at 8:30 a.m. Location TBD. And then two other notes. I just want to give a shout out to Action Programs for Animals, a community organization that has taken thousands of animals from our local shelter and rehomed them. Their roof caved in during the rain, and it's, I think, about a $50,000 repair, and they also have to place all of the animals that they had at their facility, and so they're looking for folks who might be able to foster temporarily, very briefly, until they get their roof fixed, small dogs and a few large dogs, or potentially donate to support their roof fund. And so I wanted to elevate that community organization that's experiencing some hardship. And then the last thing that I just wanted to touch on related to the country club, I guess I sort of come from this, I think, from a different perspective. And I first think about our fiscal responsibilities, and I know that this is in a process and in private ownership. And so I know that that's something that has to be negotiated and figured out anyway. So I would really ask always sort of what are the costs and what are the benefits? And then I would ask us to extend that conversation and think about what this place represents. And specifically, I would like to point out that country clubs were places that most of us here on the dais would not have been allowed in for their first 50 years of existence. They are a bastion of racism and sexism in our history, and I would argue that spending money on monuments to things that might not have the most inclusive history, I would always interrogate that as an investment in public money. So I just want to speak to that as something, as folks have been emailing me and I've been thinking about this, and it really doesn't sit well with me to have conversations about a country club without acknowledging what a country club means to most people in Las Cruces. So that's my last note of the day.
Thank you. I was not expecting that, Councillor Coran. I really appreciate that, actually. Thank you. Oh, Mayor, were you supposed to tell me to go? Sorry.
No, I was just gonna, I was just gonna just share something with Councilor Coran about the Las Cruces Country Club. I remember as a kid, my uncle, who was he used to run the university's food service, and he would do ice carvings for President Corbett. But I remember specifically when we would go to that country club, he would do it for the members of the board there, and they seemed to be pretty nice. They were pretty open. I think it was a course that there are very few golf courses, and so I pretty much you could play golf, and then of course you wanted to join. But I'm just, I guess, kind of semi-defending them. I was just a kid. I don't recall their, but oh, I guess here comes Councilor Flores. She remembers the board from 60 years ago.
Yeah, I remember the board from 60 years ago when I was 10 years old.
If you want to talk, you can talk to the microphone. And
So,
if that's
Mayor,
okay, if
the
it's okay.
question then to your, saying that your uncle did all this stuff, was he invited to become a member? Probably not. He was either Mexican or Japanese,
Yeah,
so,
Japanese.
yeah, so either one wouldn't qualify.
Yeah.
I think. Thank you so much for sharing.
Okay, Councilor Bencomo.
Thank you. Yes, a couple things. I recently met with some constituents in a neighborhood that had been experiencing some traffic speeding issues. And again, I just feel like that's, how can we keep having that conversation where red light cameras might not be, wouldn't address the speeding issues within residential areas and neighborhoods. Just want to thank Public Works for getting back to the constituents pretty quickly as they begin to roll out the 3 E's process: education, enforcement, and engineering. And just, I think it's important that we perhaps either have a work session on that or do some education, some public outreach around the 3 E's in the process, how someone can, a neighborhood champion can call in and say, look, we're experiencing speeding problems. We'd like to have these yard signs and, and launch the whole process. I just think it's important that we focus on that program that I think works and invest in it even more. So I just wanted to note that. I recently went to a memorial sort of service for veterans who have been deported on behalf of the mayor. He was out of town, and so I was asked to go on his behalf and share a few words. Quite frankly, the words deported veterans should not exist. Simply put, I don't know who, Mayor, I don't know who's in charge or who staffs or leads the Veterans Task Force or Committee. I think it'd be, a lot of what they were asking me that day, Mayor, was, we actually had one person, there's been, President Biden has been repatriating a lot of people coming back, and we had someone come back to Las Cruces in July. And a lot of these men and women are going to need housing and services, and how is the city able to help them? And I think that perhaps that discussion belongs in the Veterans Committee?
We can do that through the Veterans Committee, but then we can also work with Nicole, because I know they get some monies from the VA and HUD
Yeah,
to help
absolutely.
veterans to find housing. And
Great.
in fact, they have a preference or priority.
So I will connect them then with Nicole as well. I just thought it was a really great ask, and I think it's an important, if the city can have a role to play, we should.
And Councilor Eric leads the Veterans Advisory Board, the mayors of the Veterans Advisory Board, so he can follow up on some of the
Yeah,
things.
that would be great. Thank you. And I apologize for calling it the wrong thing, advisory board. I also attended the memorial stair climb on September 11th. I was invited, as we all were, by the fire union and members of LCFD, and I just wanted to share my gratitude to all of them. Certainly was also, it was a very somber and powerful event, and I was very honored to be there to witness that, and certainly to support our fellow counselor who walked all 120 flights, 110 flights. You didn't do 10 extra, just for good measure?
I was doing push-ups.
Well, it was like halfway through, and she hadn't even broken a sweat yet, so I was really impressed. But it was a really beautiful event, and just wanted to say thank you to those who organized it. And then lastly, I'll just continue to talk about the West Picacho, as I might every single meeting, because it has become quickly my top priority as the counselor for that area. The gentleman who spoke here today earlier is not wrong. We have disinvested significantly from this corridor, from this area, and it's about time that we start turning that ship around and invest in this area that for a long time was, and it still is, the welcome corridor to Las Cruces. There is a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of folks who have invested their entire savings in opening their small business there, who've been there for decades and don't want to leave and should not have to leave. And on the other side of that, I think it's really critical that we begin talking about folks who are experiencing serious mental illness and serious substance abuse, or both, as people. I think often we get so caught up in the frustration around property crime, and I get it. That is frustrating. And I want to understand who these people are, who these people lost in their fentanyl addiction. Fentanyl addictions don't happen overnight. And I would, I think it's important that the city, begin to draft up a plan of harm reduction and prevention and education around opioid crisis in this country and in our community. We're certainly no strangers to it. And jail is not the answer for a lot of these folks. It just simply is not. Jail is a traumatizing place. Once people get out, they will have a harder time finding housing, a harder time finding jobs. They will continue to have no services. There is no rehab in jail, and if there is, I would like to know about it. I don't trust that a for-profit contract at our county detention center is actually cares about rehabilitation for people. And if we're going to continue having this conversation, this is where we split the issue. We are absolutely taking very serious measures to address our unhoused population. On the other side of that is addiction and severe mental illness, and the fact that people are deemed incompetent to stand trial and then fall through the cracks and are on the street or wherever because there is nowhere else for them to go. There isn't. There is no other facility. Our hospitals don't keep people long enough. The triage center is 24 hours. The other rehab facility here is 13 days. And I think this is where we can really begin to have serious I talked to IFO last week about as we begin to have these one-to-ones with state legislators who represent the city of Las Cruces, this is where serious investments need to be made. Treatment facilities for people, and whether we're able to say, you know what, it's perhaps for repeat offenders, it is either jail or a treatment facility, right? Like that is where we begin to not discard people. I just feel like often we get stuck in this conversation and we just throw people away. And I'm personally not okay with that, and I'll continue to do my research on finding ways to treat this. And I know I've been doing a lot of reading. This is the last thing I'll say. And I know the Conference of Mayors has been a serious discussion in that area. And I know the mayor of Boston in Boston came out with a pretty significant plan to reduce the rise in opioid and their deaths. And so I don't think we have to reinvent any wheels. And I don't think we need to get stuck in this box that we just need to throw people in jail. That is just simply not the answer. The last thing I'll say is that actually last week I met with about 6 owners, and I just want to thank all the staff that was there, owners of motels on West Picacho, and we had a great meeting. And so much of what they said, the challenges they were facing were people experiencing substance abuse. It's actually heartbreaking. It was substance abuse, prostitution, and mental illness. And I really think it's time that we come together with experts in this field and figure out a plan to serve that population.
Councilor, just a couple things before I get to Councilor Graham. Getting back to the cameras, in fact, I discussed this with EFO, because when I sent the email to him, I don't know how it moved over to the stationary cameras. It was for the mobile cameras, because that's the ones where if we had them in certain areas, especially in the neighborhoods, if there was a problem, we have to advertise it that there could be a mobile camera here. But that's the one that, because let's see, where is it? New Orleans is using. And they're mobile vans, whether it's for school zones and such. I mean, if there's still at least some interest to see what those look like instead of the stationary ones, Eric can tell him, and we can bring that to look at. And then getting on the mental health facility, I'm with you on that. If you recall, we had passed a resolution asking the legislature to fund a study, because there's only one mental health facility that's in Las Vegas, New Mexico. And we think that Southern New Mexico deserves to have one here. And so if that's the case, we can redo that resolution and see what the state can do, because they seem to be flush with money, and why spend it on various other infrastructure, and let's just go right to the heart of it and start with this. Yeah. Okay. Councilor Graham.
Thank you, Mayor. Wow, amazing comments up here today. I just want to thank my colleagues for always making me think and keeping me on my toes. Most of what I have to say is going to be a little bit of a repeat of stuff you've heard from others, but I was really glad to hear the conversation that came out earlier about continuing education for cyclists, for the roads that we're sharing. Sir, thank you so much for the comments you made and for hanging out through all of this. I'm out there on my bike, and I need to be as good a citizen and steward of the streets as anyone. I'm actually going to film a little PSA Wednesday about wearing your helmets. Protect your heads, people. Wear bike helmets. So I'm looking forward to that. A couple of notes on our various 9/11 ceremonies. As Councilor Bencomo mentioned, I got to join members of Las Cruces Fire, Doniana Fire, Mesilla Fire, and Spaceport Fire climbing on 9/11, thanks to Electronic Caregiver for loaning us Las Cruces' closest to a skyscraper. So really appreciated that. And especially to International Association of Firefighters Local 2362, that's our local fire union. And just because I get to have the mic up here, to my favorite firefighter, Mike Graham, which is no relation. I'm just kidding. He's totally related. He's my husband. But yeah, we did the climb together, and it was inspiring and moving. I will push back on Councilor Bencomo. I was decidedly sweaty. Then following up on the 12th, the General Federation of Women's Clubs Progress Club of Las Cruces had a really lovely ceremony right here in City Hall near the art installation that they were integral in getting for us. Mayor Pro Tem, Chief Smith, new cadets of, sorry, is it 37? Which fire academy we're on? 35, yeah, so really amazing to see the future of fire service, and I really appreciated the Progress Club coming out for us. I also got to attend the Mesilla Park Elementary ribbon cutting that Councilor Flores had mentioned. I wanted to give a special shout out to the Mesilla Park Choir and Zia Middle School Band who came out and provided entertainment. It's always so cool when the older kids will come out and, you know, look really, really awesome to the younger kids. And I was frankly rocking out to some of that marching band music, so much appreciated. And that's it for me. Thank you so much.
Would you care to demonstrate when you said you were rocking out, what you were doing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've all seen Seinfeld, right? Like the Elaine. I'm the Elaine. Like, there's a lot of like thumb movements.
Oh, okay. Okay, I can imagine that.
I'm better at climbing stairs than I am at dancing.
Councilor Abeyta.
Thank you, Mayor. I only made 20 flights on the stairs, so I have to say thank you to everyone who honored and remembered during the 9/11 memorials. I also attended the stair climb and the Progress Club's events. I do have a few other pretty important items. The biggest is I will be having a public safety meeting on Thursday, the 29th, from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Franco Papin Center. We will be talking about not only neighborhood building, but also some of the challenges that the district has been experiencing, including those around Crescent Drive and then the Tony Gomez Fringer area as well. So there are going to be an email blast that's sent to the district, and we are going to be doing, I believe, door hangers as well. So just to try to get more individuals to come. We had the district cleanup as well this last Saturday. So thank you to everybody who participated and cleaned up the area. Assistant City Manager Enriquez can attest that he saw me in the ditch cleaning up with my kids, who were super thrilled. So thank you. We have an oversight committee meeting this Wednesday, and the voting members of oversight met last week with Mr. Peely to give some recommendations on the type of information that might be useful to be included for the OIR reporting and for us for the next time. And I want to thank Councilor Coran for working on updating the evaluations with me for the city manager reviews, including potentially doing a 360 review throughout the city. And I believe that is it for me, so thank you, Mayor.
Councilor, do you mind sharing with me what the problems were on Crescent Drive?
Yes, they've been having a string of residential burglaries. So they've had about 3 in the last small item. You're copied on an email as well.
Okay, just curious.
Thank you.
Assistant Manager Eric Enriquez, you have a city manager's report?
Yes, thank you, Mayor, Council. A few things to mention. Just wanted to share with the Council that Transit is working on a plan to do a fare-free pilot. Hopefully we get completely staffed and the fleet, and anticipating the resources they'll need, and we're shooting for late November, early December, but it will happen before the end of the year, and we'll go fare-free. Wanted to mention that when we talk about traffic and speeding, pedestrian fatalities, those type of issues, we are planning a work session. It'll be on December 12th. Right now, we're gathering a lot of that data with our GSI department to deliver a presentation with a lot of the issues and the concerns with the assistance of police, MPO, Public Works, even the school crossing program that I forget Ashley has as well, gathering all that data, and we're able to put a presentation for council on December 12th. Just wanted to mention on the tents that we have been looking at that with OEM as far as emergency plan, look at those tents even for cooling stations. So that's something that we'll follow up on, and we'll follow up on all the other items. And I do want to add that Councilor Abeyta, if that was work and cleaning, you made it look like you were having fun. Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Assistant Manager Enriquez. Okay, if there's nothing further, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved by Flores.
Second, Abeyta.
Okay, motion made by Councilor Flores, second by Councilor Abeyta. Teresa?
This is on a motion to adjourn the meeting. Councilor Abeyta?
Yes.
Councilor Graham?
Yes.
Councilor Bencomo?
Yes.
Councilor Karan?
Teresa, you can totally take credit for us getting out early. Yes.
Councilor Flores?
Yes.
Councilor Gandara? Oh, absent? Mayor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we're adjourned. It's 3:19 p.m. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon, evening.
Probably. I'm not going to be here next week or the week after or the week after that. No, I'm just kidding.